So let's put it this way. If Pete Hegseth proves even a fraction as effective as defense secretary as he was at responding to the asininity hurled at him by a bunch of out-of-touch showboats masquerading as serious lawmakers, America's military is going to be in good hands. From the start, Hegseth made it clear that his priority would be to remove politics from the military.
Unlike the current administration, politics should play no part in military matters. We are not Republicans. We are not Democrats. We are American warriors.
Not just that, Hegseth said he would begin a new approach of demanding equality within our ranks, not equity.
Our standards will be high and they will be equal, not equitable. That's a very different word. We need to make sure every warrior is fully qualified on their assigned weapon system, every pilot's fully qualified and current on the aircraft they are flying, and every general or flag officer is selected for leadership or promotion purely based on performance, readiness, and merit.
This completely logical, rational, sane approach to military preparedness met with hostility from every single Democrat on the committee, of course. Senator Kristen Gillibrand attempted to accuse Hegseth of not welcoming the service of liberal or progressive military members. Hegseth's response left the schoolmarm senator speechless. Seriously.
The statements you said about people who have views differently than you, that we're the enemy, are you saying that 50% of the DOD, if they hold liberal views or leftist views or are Democrats, are not welcome in the military? Are you saying that?
Senator, I volunteered to deploy to Afghanistan under Democrat President Barack Obama. I also volunteered to guard the inauguration of Joe Biden, but was denied the opportunity to serve because I was identified as an extremist by my own unit for a Christian tattoo.
Daggum. As a general rule, you don't want to accuse someone of rejecting people from your side for military service based on political differences when they themselves were rejected by your side from military service based on political differences. Next up was Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who slipped right out of her wigwam to attempt a gotcha moment, and it didn't go well for her.
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
I'm guessing that Liz probably didn't care for everyone in that room laughing at her. Look, I don't say this to be disrespectful, but if you've ever wanted to see the clear distinction between being an academic and being smart, Elizabeth Warren remains Exhibit A. But progressives had promised their legions that they were going to expose and humiliate Hegseth at these hearings. It wasn't going that way. And so when all else fails, just start making stuff up. Am I right, Senator Angus King?
Your position is torture's okay. Is that correct? Waterboarding, torture is no longer prohibited given the circumstances of whatever war we're in. Is that correct?
Senator, that is not what I said. I've never been party to torture. We are a country that fights by the rule of law, and our men and women always do. And yet we have too many people here in air-conditioned offices that like to point fingers at the guys in dark and dangerous places, the gals in helicopters in enemy territory who are doing things that people in Washington, D.C. would never dare to do.
You know, watching the ankle-biting senators get repeatedly jaw-kicked by Hegseth in exchange after exchange, it brought one image to my mind of how this entire hearing went, with Democrat senators flying planes and Hegseth on the top of the Empire State Building. And it made me think, if Hegseth can somehow make the American military look more like that, rather than, say, this?
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms.
It's possible that our country may just be a tad bit safer in a hostile world.